really a way to look at teams and how can a team move from explosive conflict into managing prevention of conflict so that you're ahead of the curve rather than having to tail behind it. And it starts with data gathering. When a team comes together, people are checking each other out in terms of what's expected of me. And we have to go through a phase as a team to clarify those expectations and get clear whether or not this is going to be a functional, workable team. And once we get clear about where we belong, what our role is, then we go to some point of stability and commitment to the team. So what often happens is we're on the team, things are rolling along, and then suddenly there's a pinch. Pinch, I call it. And the pinch is something that you don't quite know what happened, but it isn't quite in line with what the expectations you thought you had. So it's a state of disequilibrium. And most people don't want to make mountains out of molehills. So they have a pinch and they forget about it, and they try to let it go. And yet, over time, as things keep popping up, eventually it becomes a crunch. So at the crunch state, there are only three choices available. One is you can pretend. You can go back to that stability and pretend like nothing really happened. Second option is you can leave. You can leave the team, you can quit the job or quit the marriage. Or the third and most difficult option is to go back to the beginning and say, hey, what happened? I thought we agreed on these expectations. And you have to work it through in the heat of conflict, and it gets intense because there's a lot of emotionality by the time it gets back up here. So the real trick for teams is to begin to pay attention to their pinches. When things begin to get off a little, to give people the courage to speak up and say, hey, let's go back up here. What are our expectations? Because changes happen. These pinches occur because something has changed in the external environment or new pressures that have come down from corporate headquarters. And so this needs to be an ongoing process. You can't just get stuck in clear expectations as if they're going to be there a year from now the same as they are today. So this is a dynamic process that needs to be alive with talking about pinches before they become crunches.